What a week. It's always so busy around here, around this time of year anyway. And then you add on top of that, there's an election coming up in 3 weeks, and you got to participate in that, make sure that people are doing the right thing and getting registered to vote. Voter registration's already done, apparently. Actually, no, in California, the final day is October 21st. And so you can still get registered before then. But man, get the ballots done, get them in. Let's go. Let's get vote blue all the way up and down, baby. Anyway, it's been a crazy week. I've been bitten by my puppy countless number of times. She is absolutely out of control and chews up way too much of my time. And socks. So add that to the fact that I just got a new MAGA neighbor with their big Trump 2024 fuck your feelings sign, flag hanging up in their garage. And I got to tell you, good times. Good times. Let's chop it up. Yeah, Donald Trump came into our lives again. Well, came into our lives as like a serious figure instead of just a fucking punchline. Like 9 years ago, and since he came down that escalator, he's been the center of the world's attention. He seems to think that any attention is good attention. I disagree. I like good attention. I don't like bad attention. And anyway. 6 one, half dozen the other. This guy's always prevalent, and now I got a new neighbor, so I got to watch out for that. I got to watch out how loud I record my podcast. You don't want to be podcasting with the windows open and saying something horrible about the orange tangerine dictator. I'm trying to switch it up. I'm trying to switch away from orange because he's not orange anymore. He looks like I saw a tweet. Somebody tweeted that I've already forgotten who it was, so I'm sorry. He looks like one of those Warner Brothers characters when the bomb goes off and it's like the bomb fallout hits him in the face and they're all covered in soot. He's gone from like orange to some sort of weird burnt sienna tan. It's a strange color. I don't know. Maybe he's run out of money to get the regular orange. Yeah. Anyway, Trump's running around being fucking crazy. He had a rally that was supposed to be a town hall where people asked him questions. He took a few questions from the crowd, had a couple of people pass out from the heat because he's too cheap to leave the AC on. And then he decided he would just kind of wanted to listen to music. So he listened to music for 40 minutes and just kind of like danced in place on stage. It was really bizarre. I think the guy's totally lost his fucking mind. He's long time been just a guy who says whatever the fuck is on his mind whenever. Hey, wow, I'm up to like 7 F-bombs already. Maybe I should chill. He's always said whatever he has on his mind, even if his mind is, basically a rat's brain. This guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He keeps going to these interviews where he's interviewed in front of business people and he talking about his financial plans and he can't stay on topic and all of his plans are fucking mental. And then he argues over the effects of tariffs. He's like, we're going to put these, 50% tariffs on basically everything coming into the United States, which is just going to be like a 50% sales tax on anything imported. And he said, you can get around the tariff by building your factory here. Well, who the fuck is going to do that? And why bother? They're just going to slap tariffs on our stuff and here you get a trade war going on and our farmers can't sell their goods. This is just dumb. It's stupid. It's just dumb. It's economic planning by somebody who just doesn't understand economics. Macro international economics. He doesn't have any clue. So anyway, keeps talking about how they used to have tariffs on everything back when McKinley was president. McKinley was assassinated for the record. Not saying anybody should assassinate Trump. I don't want him to die. I want him to lose this election and then be held accountable for all the shit he's done wrong. McKinley was not a good president. I mean, ugh. Anyway, it's a totally 100+ years ago approach to macro world economics, and it's not going to work in 2024. Dummy. And then the other thing he says is drill, baby, drill. Drill, we're going to drill. We're going to reduce your energy prices by drilling more for more oil. We're going to produce more oil and natural gas. Okay, so I'm the child of the oil fields of Oklahoma. And I know I met several of these like actual oil company owners, small local oil company owners who produce oil on their land and they sell it to the bigger distributors. And they don't drill. They don't drill for more oil if the price drops below a certain amount. And if you overburden the market with way too much supply, the price drops. He wants to drill more. Already the oil prices are as low as these guys like it. When you go to tell them we're going to drill more, they're just going to look at you and go, no, we're not, because they lose money at this point. So he doesn't even understand how fucking oil and natural gas production works. You can't saturate the market. It makes it not worth it to drill because you can just lay off all your people and leave the oil or gas in the earth and just pick it up later when the price is better. What a dumb bastard. Anyway, I hate talking. We're 3 weeks out from the election. I hate talking about this guy. I hate it. But he says something over the weekend that was the new low. And that's what I have to talk about for just a moment. I want to talk about this and I want to talk about something entirely different. Well, it's related, but not different. He said that he's really worried about the enemy within. And he then goes on to specify that it's the leftists that need to be dealt with by the National Guard or, if necessary, the United States military. The leftists, American citizens who don't agree with him, American citizens who don't want to make him a dictator, are the enemy. And he thinks that we should be dealt with. And I'm a part of that. I'm on Elon Musk's list that he's given over to Donald Trump. This is the list of people who have been dissidents on X or Twitter. It should be Twitter. I don't know why I keep slipping up and calling it X. It's stupid. I'm on the list, I'm on the list. I am a dissident. I don't like Donald Trump. I hate him. I think he's a dictator. I think he's a fascist. I've been calling him a fascist for years. I've been calling him a fascist on podcasts. I've been calling him a fascist on social media. That's what he is. And he proves it when he says shit like this. A demagogue who doesn't believe that laws or rules apply to him. And so he's willing to throw them all out, including things like, elections, to remain in power. That's fascism. To rule from some sort of weird, it's a strongman approach. He's basically using the Third Reich playbook to get into power, talking about how immigrants are ruining the towns and villages of the country. The town and villages? Do we have a lot of villages in the United States? Do we use that terminology? I'm sure it sounds more impressive in the original German. That phrase, enemy within, and we're going to deal with them. And he actually singled out like Adam Schiff, who's running for Senate in the state of California. I just voted for him. Against Steve Garvey. No political experience whatsoever. No plans. No. I can't even get into it. There are two sides. There are two major parties in this country. They are the two parties that win all of the elections. I love third parties, but until there is a national, until we change the way we run this government, it's going to be a two-party system, a biparty system. One party is interested in governance. They present plans. They do everything they can to win people's votes. The other side just tries to anger people, anger their base, and suppress the other side's votes through any means necessary, including cheating in elections and changing the rules before voting starts or even after voting started. Change how we're going to count things, change how we're going to approve the counts of things. And really, that's what it boils down to. Do you want to live in this, to continue to live in a democracy where we get to rightfully change leadership that fails us? Or do you want to be stuck with the same jackasses forever because they're just going to be like, yeah, well, we won an election once and that's all we need. And that's what they want to do. And there's already undemocratic pieces to this system. The Electoral College is shit and needs to go away. I can't say that enough. But we really need to, the Democrats need to win this election, and they need to fix some of these broken rules and laws that allow Republicans to just get away with murder electorally. They get away with murder. They rarely get away with actual murder. Sometimes I'm sure they do. But I don't know nothing about that. I'm just a guy who's going to get black-bagged if Trump wins. I'm sure I'm really low on the list, for the record. I'm not like really scared. There are way worse people that he's going to come after first. Worse in quotation marks. Yeah, it's not a visual medium, and I forget that from time to time. And I'm over here gesticulating with my hands and making faces, and all you guys hear is the sound of my ASMR voice, and go, yeah, what is he doing? I don't know. That doesn't even make sense sometimes. I fear for the future. I fear the fascist takeover of our country because we certainly seem primed for it. I'm worried. I am worried. I think that good will prevail. I believe that. But at the same time, there's always a little doubt that creeps up. You guys wouldn't know this, but this is behind the scenes, inside baseball. I've taken a couple of breaks because I ate a little snack before I started of Spanish peanuts. And those are the peanuts with the little red skins on them. And it turns out that those irritate your throat and make you cough a lot. So, pro tip, if you're going to sit down to podcast, don't have Spanish peanuts as your snack beforehand. That was foolish of me. And I apologize if I do happen to like cough up a peanut ball later. What? Anyway, fascism is scary, and we're primed to accept it. And that's because of the second thing that I wanted to talk about today, and that's lying. It's the lying. It's the problem with the truth, the alternative facts world. We've been primed by right-wing media in the mold of Rush Limbaugh and the OG Fox News that started in 96. We're looking at 30 years of people being lied to and gaslit. Gaslighting is a really specific type of lying that's extremely effective in convincing people that something is not real is happening to them. And it comes from an old movie. Just gaslight. Just look it up. You don't want to be gaslit. That's the worst kind of lied to. It's this invention of situations of things that occurrences that never happened, and then you explain this is what's going to happen to you. So the lie is about something else, but then they tie it to you. And we've been lied to for years and years and years. And the object was never, and this is where Trump comes in. The object was never to actually get you to believe the lies. Some people would be susceptible to it, and they will believe it, whatever you tell them. Those are the culty people, like my neighbor. Some people will believe whatever you tell them, and some people, the object of the lying is just to make them doubt everything. So you've got three versions of Americans. You've got Americans who believe every lie. You've got Americans who see the lie and go, that's a lie. And then you have a third pot, which is Americans who sit there and go, both sides lie. Even though they have no proof that, the non-crazy Republicans are lying, crazy conservatives, the non-Fox Newses, the non-Rush Limbaughs, I would say God rest his soul, but fuck that guy. He poisoned my grandfather. And for that, I will never forgive him or his ilk. There's no leftist equivalent. If there is, it's completely unpopular and nobody gives a shit. See, that's the thing. They've convinced you to either believe their lies or believe that everyone is lying. And that's Orwellian. Okay, kids, that's 1949, George Orwell's 1984. That's just a bunch of numbers to people. There's a book written by a British guy named George Orwell. He released it in 1949. The title of the book is 1984. It's about a story that takes place in the year 1994, which at the time was 35 years into the future. But for the record, is now 40 years in the past. Good times. But it was about propaganda. It was about the rise of fascism. It was about, the way fascists use media to control the narrative. And in controlling the narrative, they control information or lack thereof, disinformation, if you will. And that's what's happened. And that's why we're primed for a fascist regime, because people like to be told what to do as opposed to think independently. The right have waged a war on anyone that doesn't think like them, anyone that doesn't say any non-Christian. They've waged a war on any non-Christian for years because it's easier if you got one common thread, and that common thread is going to be Christianity. The next common thread is going to be they really lean into racial politics. They're very white, they're very Christian, and they believe that they are the majority, even though they're not anymore. They were at one point, but they're not anymore. The majority of Christians, or the former Christian majority, is now a minority. It's a minority group in the United States, less than 50%. We're about to be a majority-minority country. I want to say it happens in 2030, by projection. It's very close, very, very close. Hell's bells, it might have already happened. Birth rate amongst the white population is down. Increased immigration, and, we're just becoming a browner country. And you know what? The quicker it happens, the better off we all are, because we got to get past that kind of stupid hatred that means nothing and it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Nobody controls what color they are when they come out of the womb. You just are. You're just a person, okay, guys? So racism doesn't make any fucking sense. It just doesn't. Misogyny doesn't make any sense. A lot of people have females in their lives. I'm guessing. I've been surrounded by females my entire life. I have loved them. I've discovered that women are more than capable of doing fucking anything men can do. I was raised by a single mom. I've had 2 ex-wives. I have a wife now that's amazing. My daughters are amazing. They're all more than capable. More hell's bells, more capable than I. It's infuriating that we look at another human being and we think that they're less than we are. I don't even think that people who are led around by the nose are less than I am. I think that you may be unfortunately educated. I think that you've fallen victim to things like my neighbor. I don't hold anything against. I'm as nice as can be to these people already. For the first week they've been here, I have been as nice as can be to them. Haven't said one word about politics. I just smile. I say, you need anything, just let me know. You need tools to put anything together. You just let me know. I got tools in the garage here. If you see the kids out playing on their bikes, they've got kids. If your kid wants to join our kids, we watch them all together. We'll make sure that nothing bad happens. I'm as nice as it could be to these people because it's not their fault. I don't see it as their fault. I don't believe that they're truly deplorable. I think that they're misguided. I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for MAGAs. I feel sorry for people who have that much hate in their heart that they let it consume them. I feel sorry for them that they've been gaslit and lied to and abused by a system that abuses people who don't fight back. And it hell's bells, it abuses people that do fight back. It's powerful people like to remain in power. And when you're not a part of that powerful people clique, you kind of start to glom on to others and try to live vicariously through the leaders that look and act the most like you. And I don't think that that's necessarily a good thing. I think that's not critical thinking. I think critical thought is what's missing here. It's always missing. You have to put things into perspective. You have to see things on the whole. You have to be that's a strange turn of phrase. You have to see the entirety of things. You have to be able to critically analyze what's going on. And that allows you to make better decisions. Now, what is next? I don't know. I honestly don't. I'm growing out my hair so that I look like a 1970s baseball player. Like, that's my big plan. That's me saying I don't have a plan. I don't have a plan. What if the fascists win? We're screwed. I don't have a plan. I feel terrible that I don't, but I don't. I'm going to spend the first couple of days trying to keep my wife from losing her mind. Because the last time around, I failed. And she was pretty bent. And understandably so. She was also pregnant at the time with our little girl. I don't want to deal with the fascist takeover of our country. I don't even want them to get close. I don't want lies and misinformation to win. I don't want to live in a world where I get hunted for being a quote-unquote dissident, for pointing out obvious things like this person who wants to do away with law and order, wants to do away with the Constitution, and wants to be a dictator on day one, even if it only takes one day to outlaw the word dictator or to change the meaning of it. See, anybody who would even suggest it is unfit for that highest office in the United States, because that person has to be a servant, not just of the government, a servant of the Constitution, but a servant of the people. The people are what make the country. It's not the land. It's not the documents. It's the people who have agreed to work together in a common good and a common cause and toward common goals. Prosperity for everybody. They tried to lay out those goals, even if they were flawed and hypocritical in the beginning. But I tell you, we can do better. We can do better every day, all the time, in just the way you interact with the people that you run into. A smile, a nod, a wave, a positive word can change a person's entire day. I say this all the time. One of the secrets to life is embracing the small kindnesses. The small kindness that comes from being positive towards another person. That other person that you say hi to at the gas station or the grocery store, or that you don't flip off because you allow them to cut in front of you when you're driving. Anyone that you come into contact with and you perform a small kindness, that person could be having the worst day of their fucking life. They could be thinking about all of the horrible things that they could do to themselves or someone else. And your moment of kindness can stop that person in their tracks and make them think, wait a minute. That stranger held the door open for me and said, after you, please. That person let me cut in line at the store because I only had 5 items and they had a whole cart full. I do this all the time. I'm not in a hurry. That moment of kindness could make that person change their immediate path. Kindness is important, and it's something that we're getting away from. So we can be better. And that's why, even though I have a Trump neighbor with a fuck your feelings flag hanging in his garage, I have been nothing but nice to these people. You know, Michelle Obama said when they go low, we go high, which honestly, okay, I think that's a bit much. But until they go low, I will stay high. How about that? And not in like a drug using kind of way, because I can't handle drugs. I'm too old for that shit now. I drink 1 beer and I feel like trash the next day. Oh, maybe the beer I'm picking is wrong. It's possible. I used to work in the industry. I used to get free drinks all the time. For 10 years, I drank for free. And now I'm like, ugh, I just can't take it. So I don't drink much, very little. And I think that that's fine too. I just keep doing these podcasts and I keep reaching out to people and saying, think and put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Find empathy. Because if you can do those 2 things, if you can think critically and find empathy, congratulations, you are on the path to being a really good human. People who can think critically, people who can communicate their ideas, and people who can show empathy, feel empathy and then show it, they will find themselves surrounded by people who care for them, friends and family alike. And that enriches your life. Live a rich life by showing kindness, turning the other cheek from time to time. That's good too. Don't be a pushover, but don't be an asshole. See what I mean? You don't have to be one or the other. You can live a perfectly normal life in, kind of neutral. Just be positive, be nice to people. And then if they're mean to you, you don't have to be nice anymore. Okay? But force them to make the bad choice. Don't make yourself the bad guy. That's life advice from a guy who's about to turn 50. I'm scared of a fascist win in 3 weeks. We should all be scared of a fascist win in 3 weeks. Of course, the fascists won't be scared. They'll be happy. But it could happen because there's a horribly undemocratic system in place that allows a loser of an election to win the election. It's called the Electoral College. I've said it again. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's garbage and it needs to go away. But it's the system that we have right now and we can't change it. So for now, this is where we are. So let's make the most of it. Make sure that you get your ass out to vote. And if you can help somebody else do it, more power to you. All right? That's the minimum. That's the minimum. I will see you soon. Talk to you soon. I never see any of you. You just listen to me. I hear myself. I don't know. I never actually. There are a few listeners that I actually know. That's true. I do see some of you. So anyway, I will be back to speak with you again, or at least at you. And hopefully we'll be positive and upbeat, and we won't have to worry about more fascist rhetoric. I have a feeling, here's my theory, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And yes, I do believe that good will win, and Donald Trump will be forced to face the fact that he's just not going to win again. All right, let's do this. Let's go get it. Be powerful. Be positive. Be upbeat. I love you. I care about you. Remember, please be good humans. It is the least that we can do. Until next time, peace and love.